Welcome to this week's episode of the Relly and Deli podcast. I'm Relly.
And I'm Deli.
And today we have an amazing fan-requested episode, Hell House LLC.
Yeah.
Request! Horror is scary. Oh my god, so many movies. Death. Wow.
Everybody's haunted.
Oh no, they're dead.
Ooh, this is
My goodness.
long. Oh
Wow.
my god.
Help me.
Ooh,
Yes. Thank you so much, Deborah. Cousin, god sister,
Thank you.
longtime friend, one of our first supporters and listeners. Back in November, pretty quickly, maybe even October, pretty quickly after we started, had asked me about the Hell House LLC.
Yeah.
Which I was like, just super shocked because other than you, no one has ever asked me about it.
I mean, yeah, I think Hell House as a series is probably popular in the horror community. But admittedly, I had only seen the first one. Actually,
Yeah.
I think I only brought that first one to you. We watched that together for the first time.
Yeah.
And I had no, intentions of looking at the other one. Maybe eventually, but it wasn't pressing.
Right.
So I do thank Deborah for bringing this to us. We started off watching, we watched part 1. Time passes.
Years.
We ended up watching part 5 and Deborah's request. And part 5 is good. Part 5 is, having not seen anything else, it was okay. But we then decided to go back because we were like, we feel like, let's go back and watch the other ones because we feel like something,
Yeah. And it was interesting because the first Hell House film, it is found footage.
It is found footage.
Fans of the show will know I detest found footage.
Yeah.
Found footage to me is one of the lowest forms of horror, cinema, entertainment.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. And I don't like it because I think a lot of the times there are holes and people get lazy.
Yeah.
People get lazy with found footage and then just start showing us shit that like, girl, we shouldn't be. Who is that camera? What camera view is this? This shouldn't exist because who is showing it to us? And then if they die, how are we supposed to get it? Yeah. And even like wrongly so, there was, something in the first film that I was like, oh, I actually really enjoyed this up until this point because this makes no sense. And I was wrong.
Okay.
And happily wrong. And so after seeing
did you find that out in the first movie or did you find that out?
No, I said it again when we rewatched it. It was by the second film. It was something that was addressed in the second film almost immediately. Without them saying the explanation, they just showed how that could be possible. And by the end did it. And I was like, oh, okay, very, very good. Let me buckle up. And honestly, this has been a very, very fun watch through. So Deborah, thank you so much for recommending this.
Fun and the lore.
Yeah. So instead of doing Hell House LLC Part 5 Lineage, we're actually gonna break down the entire Hell House LLC franchise and explain to you why this honestly is one of the most consistent horror franchises that's ever existed.
Absolutely. It's consistent, it's cohesive, everything is interwoven intricately. It's very on the level.
It's on the level.
It rivals, as you mentioned yesterday, it rivals Saw. Saw is also very interconnected. And I'm going to tell you something.
Go ahead, too.
Now, who acted like they were going to do this and didn't actually do this?
Oh.
Terrifier.
Oh my goodness.
They acted like they were building lore, especially with part 3 of Hell House.
So,
yeah.
And I got some tea on Hell House, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, the creator actually said in an interview with Geeks of Doom that he saw the first 3 films of Hell House LLC as a trilogy.
Correct.
Divided into 3 acts.
Yeah.
And he found it easier to write them because he definitely knew where he wanted to go. And we talked about this the entire time. Our first one was just like, dude, how much of this do we think is planned? And honestly, by the 3rd film, I was like, no. This man has a story Bible, as we say in our school. He has a guidebook. He at least got plans. He at least got a tissue napkin with some arrows and some bullet points of what he wants at the very least. But this thing was done so well. I know it was mapped out.
Yeah.
And it made so much sense. And I think the problem with Terrifier is Terrifier now is on movie, technically 4? If we talk about the original film, that was a series of short films that introduced him, then we have Terrifier Part 1.
Yeah.
Terrifier 2 kind of opened the door, and I think they started the trilogy from Terrifier 2.
Oh.
So when we got Terrifier 3...
I do feel like Terrifier 1... I don't think they really had a Bible.
No.
They didn't really have a guide. I think it was just like a one and done.
Yeah.
It was so popular, so they came back to do more.
The way I see it is that part 4 that's supposed to come out eventually is going to complete the trilogy of 2, 3, and 4. So people expected, we had 1, which honestly peeled our wigs back on Netflix. Yeah. That gave me nightmares. Some of the most disturbing cinema I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that when it blew up and it was like, part 2 is going to theaters, people took it to be like, we're going to get a continuation. But no, baby. It ultimately was the first film.
Yeah.
And part 3 was the sequel. And the way that, 3 was not like a finale of sorts. Right. I expect 4 to be. And I think that the way we had to look at it is like, hey, baby, this is drive to the theater money. This is a production.
Yeah.
And you have to look at part 1 and the short film that came out before part 1 as like source material, prequel shit. We're in DBZ era. That's Dragon Ball. Very important. You should watch it. However, the story starts now.
Okay.
And I think that's what it was. Because I've had to make my peace with the disturbance, and I'm like, yeah. But with this film, I don't even know truly what the budget is. We're going to get into so much about, the entire series.
Yeah.
But I feel like with this, they stay true. The last film was, premiered in movies, in select theaters, actually. But it's, And that one also makes sense because it's the first one that really deviated away from the found footage.
Yeah.
But it all made sense.
Yeah, it all made sense.
It made sense. It didn't completely get away from the essence of what the films were.
I agree. Shout out to Stephen Cognetti.
Yes.
For he directed and wrote all of these.
Yeah. Stephen Cognetti, you're a bit of an icon, baby.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He also has another movie that's not part of the series, but he made right before the last one, LLC, Lineage.
Yeah.
825 Forest Road, probably 825.
Oh.
And I've seen the thumbnail for that forever.
Okay.
But I've just never. I think I have it in my queue, but I haven't actually had us watch it.
Yeah.
But once you see the thumbnail, you're gonna see this Cognetti situation.
Yeah.
Because something about his thumbnails or his title or his font and usage and stuff, they do have a certain style to them.
Yeah.
A certain signature to them.
Yeah.
So this one, it makes sense.
Well, we might watch that this weekend, honestly, because after we just watched,
we're fully into the Cognetti verse.
We gotta, I need closure, so I'm gonna watch that probably this weekend.
Okay.
But okay, so Hell House LLC, the original film, was a horror found footage supernatural story that came out in 2015.
Yeah.
Directed by Stephen Cognetti, as we said. And it's the first installment in the Hell House LLC franchise.
Yeah.
It was produced by Joe Bandelli. Stars Ryan Jennifer Jones, Danny Bellini, and Gore Abrams. So it's shot as a documentary. It does follow a group of Halloween haunted house creators And they're preparing for Halloween 2009. We later find out that, like, you know, they needed this. We could kind of tell through the filming that, like, you know,
that something's going on.
Something's going on.
Yeah, here, you know, they established that the Abaddon Hotel was built by Tully, this man named Tully.
Yeah.
And he built the place. They said that he was kind of like, what's that, H.H. Holmes?
Okay.
In a way. They kind of mentioned that there in the first one as well. He's kind of like H.H. Holmes. So the hotel is kind of built for you not to be able to get around easily. And they say that there's rumors of him, like, you know, committing murders and stuff. But none of that was, you know, solidified. None of that was in the, he wasn't ever, like, charged with that. And he's long gone at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, they set up shop in the Abaddon. What's their, I guess it is called Hell House. Duh. I was going to say, what's their haunted house called?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Hell House. And
yeah.
it originally was somewhere else. I think in the city.
Yeah, it was in New York City.
They opted to, like, move it here. And throughout the story, or throughout the first film, you do get the sense from Alex that Alex knows more about this place. He's
Absolutely.
the ringleader. He's the, you know, the head of the company. He knows more about this place. He's hiding something. There's desperation. All that's there. Yeah. And it's crazy because that gets explored, you know, later on. But yeah.
Yeah. So, now, you find out at the beginning of the film, right, that during the opening night of this event, there's a tragedy. Yes. 15 people, including nearly all of the staff, died. Yeah. And what authorities, like, they're calling it a malfunction.
They are calling it a malfunction. It's very much sweep under the rug.
Right, yeah. A malfunction of what, babes? There wasn't really much mechanical anything going on.
Exactly.
You know, they had, like, actors and stuff like that, of course, you know, dressed up in masks and such. And, yeah, but I think the great part about the found footage that this film is shot in is that it linked so well to the obscurity of what's going on.
It really, really did. There's some great scares in part one, and there's a lot of good stuff with, you know, silences and sounds and all that.
Yeah.
And then you are in this documentary style situation because you have all these, like, qualified reporters and authors and whatnot talking about this tragedy.
Exactly.
And then you get to see the footage that the crew filmed while they were setting up this haunted house. So
exactly.
It's very cool.
And so this documentary technically is being put out, which we would assume is by this guy named Mitchell, and he'll become important a little bit later. But ultimately, he's part of an investigative documentary team with Diane Graves, who heard about the events and the murders and everything like that went down, and she started doing an investigation into it herself. Hey, so the documentary actually came out on year 5.
That makes sense.
5 years after.
Because I was going to say, I think the documentary came out in real time. Like when the movie was released, that's the year of the documentary.
For sure.
And that all this stuff with the actual Hell House crew, all that happened 2009.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we follow her team, and you know, you're kind of jumping between her team doing an investigation and then seeing the footage of what happened.
Right, Diane's team,
and then Alex's team, who's making the haunted house.
Correct.
So now, while we're watching this, they decide to stay at the Abaddon Hotel while they're preparing, building the haunted house, getting actors coming and doing everything.
That's the gag.
Yeah. And we kind of find out it's because they ain't got no money. Let me tell you, horror loves a poor bitch.
Yeah.
Because being in circumstances when you ain't got no money, babes,
desperation,
you're in danger.
Desperation will lead you down some dark paths.
Oh yeah.
Supernatural and otherwise.
Yeah.
It really will.
Yeah. So now they track down the sole survivor of the Hell House LLC's team, who is Sarah, and she provides them with the behind the scenes footage. She kind of drives the investigative team and gives them more information to look into it.
Right.
I really dig into the Abaddon Hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we watch, honestly, what I was saying in the first film, because we're not going to take too much more time to talk about the first film.
Yeah, we have a whole slew of things to get through, but it would be an injustice to you guys if we just started with part 5 without giving you the lore and just showing you just how connected everything is.
Yeah.
Because the first film really felt like a one and done, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that's why I didn't want to watch wasn't so pressed about watching the other ones.
Sure, no.
Because
does not like sequels. Deli is someone who can enjoy something.
Hold on.
He doesn't mind them, but he's someone. The thing that exists in a lot of people's heads, like myself, that's like, this was the best thing I've ever watched. I enjoyed this a lot. This was very great. Give me more. Trendell does not have.
Yeah, and then I've had the sense, because every subsequent movie has like a little subtitle, like Lake of Fire and Abaddon Hotel. So I was like, oh, these must not be connected to the first one. They must be, just like isolated stories.
Right.
I'm like, I'll get to them.
It never did.
It never did. But I think that's one of the strong suits of this series, that everything is connected. And you cannot just really plop down and watch one. You shouldn't. You should really watch all of them. But I digress.
Yeah. Okay. So, we have people coming to this place, the Abaddon Hotel in Abaddon.
Correct.
A couple people pronounce it Abaddon, which, if you know of any small town in the States, or honestly anywhere in Ireland, there's people who pronounce the place like a majority way. There's always going to be someone who just be like, oh, you mean Abaddon?
Right.
And it's like, only locals call it Abaddon. And it's like, girl, shut the hell up. But honestly, it made it very believable.
It did.
It wants you to sink into the realization and understanding.
Yeah.
Now, looking at this again, right? In 1989, a young mother and her daughter disappeared while staying at the hotel. And Tully was actually cleared of their disappearance, and the hotel's reputation was ruined. Tully hanged himself shortly after.
Oh, okay. So that was the final linchpin on that.
Correct.
From what they made it sound like, there was a lot of different like weird things going on in the hotel while Tully was alive, and I guess that was the final straw that just.
But now, we're gonna get into that.
We're gonna get into that
a little bit. But what I'll say about the film, because in this, we're not gonna give you our 4 main categories that we typically break it down. It's found footage, babes.
It's found footage, so we're giving you full
we're not doing our normal
categories.
Down in those 4s. We're gonna talk about it. Now, this series, this franchise, does some of the best, like, what was that moments ever. And they even coined the phrase by the 3rd film called Abaddon Eyes.
Yeah.
Where it's like someone will believe they're seeing something. It gets very flagrant for the characters later on, especially in the 5th film, which the 5th film is not found footage for the majority of it.
Yeah.
But when you're watching this stuff through their grainy phone footage, you'll be watching and be like, now what was that over there?
Yeah.
And when I tell you, they'll make a shadow look like something and make something look like a shadow very well.
Yeah.
And it'll be quick. And you only know that was really something because when they spin back around, it's gone. And I love playing that game when we're watching horror.
Yeah.
And this film does it expertly well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's so good. They will do misdirects. They will put things in there. The slight turn of a head, the posing of because there's these mannequins that are inside of this haunted house. These clowns. And the clowns are a very big part of this story.
Yeah.
And you're watching it and you're like, okay, these are mannequins, these are just rubber dolls. And ever so slightly, the head will tilt a quarter of a degree.
Yeah.
Arms will be posed differently. Something will be there in the corner of your eye and then it'll be gone.
Yeah.
And because, they give you really good grainy footage, chef's kiss.
It is chef's kiss. It's some real good stuff going on there. Really good, successful.
Yeah. So we got this crew staying poor in this house. They're terrorized.
Yeah.
The entire time.
Yeah.
And by the time the final night comes, baby, it's a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Like, the clowns start moving, people start dying. The sounds, I will say, like, the screams and the sounds of literal hell is aggressive.
It is very aggressive because the way that they set up the haunt is that you start like at the top and then you kind of slowly go your way through the hotel and then descend down into the basement.
Yeah.
And the idea is that you would exit out through a basement exit and then just go outside. I don't know if any of you guys have been through a haunted house, but it's typically a one-way street.
Yeah.
You don't do a lot of, back and forth. It's just a path. And that's the path they've carved out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, the first person killed on the team is Melissa, starts a stampede. Honestly, you should watch it. You should watch the finale.
Yeah, we're going to tell you guys some stuff, but we're trying not to, spoil it as much as we can. Or
we're going to spoil it.
Kind of have
it's just too much details.
It's too much we have to, right?
Yeah. Okay. So, expect spoilers.
The scoop ain't. We'll cut that out.
But it's just too much to go bit by bit, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. But the first one is very, straightforward. It's very much
Yeah. So, now, there's, again, all of this is also being recanted by Sarah while she's talking to the team.
Yes.
So after they take a look at the final footage of what happens at that night, we see these ghosts, cult people in black robes.
Yeah.
Sarah's just like, I need a break, so come and find me. My room is 2C. Mm-hmm. So they go to the hotel that they believe that she's at.
Yeah, I guess it's the hotel that they're at. They're probably in the conference room of the hotel.
Yeah.
They're all staying there, and they're assuming that she's staying there too.
Yeah, and they're like, baby, this girl is not here.
Yeah, we don't have numbers in our in our hotel room.
We do not have a 2C. They're like, girl, what? So they are like, that's super crazy. They decide then, Diane and the cameraman decide to go to visit the Abaddon themselves. Okay. Mitchell decides to stay behind so he can catalog the film footage that Sarah gave him. And he discovers more footage that Sarah did not show them. Right. And that after one of the friends, Mac, was killed, a possessed guy, Pauls, kills Sarah on camera.
Right.
Okay, and then slits his own throat.
The gag.
And it's like, well, girl, we just sat here for hours interviewing Sarah.
Yeah.
So now, Diane and the cameraman, for whatever reason, break into the Abaddon and go in. Mitchell is blowing up their phone, giving them a call.
Yeah.
And of course, they don't answer.
Yeah.
They go up to the second floor and they see room 2C.
Right.
That is locked, shut, and latched from the outside, babe.
Correct.
They open it in there, and Sarah is sitting down in there in the dark with her back turned to them.
Correct.
And by the time they try and turn and run,
it's already too late.
It's already too late.
You're already in the mouth of hell.
Yeah, and Sarah yaps them up. Yeah. You're dead.
You're done.
Okay?
You're done.
So now, the only thing, and this was the thing at the end of this footage, and I'm like, this was pretty good. This was pretty great. Except, how are we seeing this footage? And I feel like even you didn't really think about how are we seeing this footage?
Yeah.
When we talked about it, I was like, no, we shouldn't be able to see this. You were like, no. The cameraman died in there.
Yeah.
Diane died. Mitchell is out. Mitchell got the footage. How are we seeing stuff that nobody should have access to? Because everybody in here is now dead.
Right.
So I was like, can't give it a perfect score because that literally doesn't make sense, and that's the thing that they do.
Yeah.
But
However,
when we got into Hell House 2, the Abaddon Hotel, we learn that there's this media group called the Russ Wynn Media Group, and 2 years after the events of the first film, he had been receiving information and footage. Just been getting stuff, and he's been documenting it, and then he's now putting out. So now the events of part 2 are another documentary on the missing and the death of the current team.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I don't think we find out about Russ until part 3.
Well, he's mentioned
in part 2, though.
In part 2, in the beginning.
That's true.
And they're like, oh yeah, Russ is getting this footage and whatever.
Right.
But it was very in passing, and that was it.
Very true. I got you. Let me sit my ass down.
Let me cook now.
Let me
Hold
sit
on.
my ass down. You go to eggs, potatoes, man.
So now, all right. So now we find out that this guy Jackson, decides goes to the Abaddon Hotel.
Yes.
To go and collect souvenirs after watching the documentary.
Right.
So this documentary,
which is very realistic.
It is.
I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah,
like
people get
where we're at as like a society.
People get revved up off stuff like that.
Absolutely, with real tragedies and stuff like that, people still do it. And so he went down there and he started to look for a souvenir. And he was never seen again, at least not alive.
Yeah.
They were not able to reach him. He started calling them and sending texts to his family.
Yeah.
And they even received a video of his final pleas for help that came out.
That was wild.
After he was already dead.
Yeah.
And that right there answered the question, like, hold on. Whatever ghostly demonic forces in this house, it's sending the footage.
It's sending footage out. It's wanting people. It's the whole thing is like to get you to come.
It's drawing people in. We got these crazy kids who are going down there, taking like iPhone videos and being on Snapchat Live and TikToks and stuff of the time. To like do dares and stuff like that. And get inside of this house. And so his parents received this video and it's him like basically crying and screaming.
It's true, it was what he was doing.
Listen,
it was pretty pitiful.
Jackson had no business going down there.
He didn't.
Okay,
but he didn't have any idea of how
we see him screaming and crying. Oh yeah, when he was in the fetal position crying, that was very believable and that was very sad. Now on the last video, after we hear him screaming at night, there's another video that's sent from another room that has the same screams of his final screams, but then an ominous piano melody is being played. Right? His parents are triggered. They literally go to a Christmas video from 1977.
So true.
77. This is the oldest now, the farthest back time. Because the event started in 89 technically.
Yeah.
So that means that it was prepping and setting the pace and the tone.
Exactly.
And it's at Christmas, the older kids are still opening up gifts. They hear a piano. Little baby Jackson is sitting at the dining room table with a Casio playing this haunting melodic tune.
Yes.
No words, just the music.
Yeah.
And his parents walk in, his back is turned, and as he walks in, he says to them that the hotel will be open in 2009.
Yeah. Which is the time that the Hell House
was open.
Was open.
Just
randomly in 1977 he says this.
And then they were like, girl, who? What? And he looks up and he's like, oh, hey, what? What's going on? Excuse me, little demon boy, what are you talking about? He was, and then when the parents replayed the audio at like a different frequency, they heard like a deep-pitched demonic voice telling him what to say to the family. And they were like, you were in bed asleep. You were like, girl, I don't know. I had to come down here and tickle the ivory.
I did. And these ivories were tickled in the same manner in part one.
In part one.
They just randomly. One of the Hell House crew members was sitting next to a mannequin, just having a little fun, a little goofy, playing a little tune. It was the same tune.
Absolutely.
Outrageous.
So now this film is bouncing between, again, two different perspectives.
Yes.
We have Mitchell, the surviving photographer, is on a news broadcast. What's the name of the broadcast channel?
The news broadcast. I think it's Morning Mystery.
Morning Mysteries is hosting a segment 2 years later to talk about it and go over some footage that was submitted also from the Russ Wing Media Group.
Correct.
And as well as Mitchell's production. We also have Brock, who is a ghost hunter.
Correct.
And he's trying to get in the house.
Yeah.
He's like, babe, you trying to hear what only ghosts can say?
Yeah.
You need me there.
You need me there.
And they're like, Broccoli, calm it down. This is a real serious moment.
It is. He said, and it is serious.
It is, and I'm trying to talk to the ghost.
I'm the only one that can tell y'all what the ghosts want.
Okay, and then we have one of the CEOs who own the hotel, and baby shucking and driving. He's just like, listen,
It was an accident. What did he say? The malfunction. It was a malfunction.
And Mitchell was like, "Girl, first of all, I have two things. Can I first say a statement, and can I ask a question?" And Mama was just like, "For sure." He like, "Okay. First of all, fuck you. You're a dick. Second of all, why?" And he was like, "Girl, what
Mitchell
you mean?"
did come in swinging.
Yeah.
He came in swinging.
And you're like, "What's a malfunction?"
Because he knew what the CEO was going to be about.
Absolutely.
He knew what it was going to be about.
And Brock was like, "Girl, what is a malfunction?"
What do you mean by malfunction?
What do you mean by that? In my Drewski voice.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Look, we told him, we advised that he shouldn't. He's like, you forbid him from going into the hotel?" He was like, "Legally, I can't say that, and we're not at liberty to say that."
Mm-hmm.
But we did, urge him against it.
Yeah.
And it was like, what?
Yeah.
What? Like, did you?
Yeah, did you or did you not forbid them from going in there?
Yeah. So then we have a crew of Inside.com who's trying to get a story and get inside of the hotel. The leader received a package.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica
Fox.
Jessica?
Jessica Fox. She's the founder of the Insider.
Yeah, so
one of them.
She gets a package and she was just like, "Hey, babies, we should go down here. We should go down to this hotel and find out what's going on."
Yeah.
And she gets up a crew. Right? Her team was like, "No, I don't want to do this."
Correct.
Like, Jessica, why? So her cameraman is dating one of the girls on the team. And they're like, "Yeah, let's go on down." And then they left the one girl outside and they were just like, "Don't come inside.
Don't come inside.
Don't come inside.
Don't come inside."
We need a lookout."
Yeah, and that's the thing. She was super, super scared about coming inside anyway.
Yeah.
Was that Molly? It was Molly.
Yeah.
Molly was scared about coming inside anyway. And so it kind of worked out because they were like, "We need a lookout because we're technically not supposed to be here anyway."
Yeah.
So you can just watch the car. If the cops come, we have our walkies. You can radio us. We'll figure out our plan from there. But don't come in.
Do not come in.
You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. So then Brock shows up.
Correct. Unannounced.
And Brock got his guy, Malcolm.
Good job.
Good job. I try to keep track of all the black people.
Yeah.
Malcolm was a light-skinned biracial, presumed cameraman.
Right.
And they're like, "We coming in." And then Mitchell showed up. Yeah. And I think Jessica did call Mitchell.
After seeing him on Morning Mysteries.
To come.
To like, "Hey, do you want to come and do this?" Because the whole mindset behind that was because Mitchell did all that editing on the footage from Diane's crew.
Yeah.
So he knows like how to navigate.
Yeah.
He kind of has like a mental map of what's where and how to get through the hotel. So that was the whole, and he,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be a good, the good draw for him to be there.
Yeah. They go inside the house. Foolishness ensues.
They go into the hotel. Yeah, they go in the hotel and they are. I think they end up in the basement? They do, because the whole thing is that whatever this is in the fridge, right?
I think. Oh, is that what that big thing is?
Because that's the thing that old girl Jessica Fox received. Is that it's something is in the fridge,
right?
And the cops had checked all the fridges in the normal spaces. Right. They didn't check the basement fridge. The basement fridge was going to have the incriminating evidence to shut down Tully, make all this all make sense.
Right.
And that's really how she gets down, because the Insider really isn't a paranormal situation.
No.
It's not a paranormal company.
They're really
it's
like
really
TMZ.
They're really TMZ. They're really about exposing the truth.
Yeah.
They're about getting to the bottom of something.
They took down some senators and
they took
stuff
down.
like
I think so. I think
Yeah.
it's her big thing. She took down a senator. Like, she's all about the corruption and shutting that down.
Yeah.
And that's what drew her down there.
Yeah. So, Brock and Malcolm split up because they're like, "All right, we coming in this one room. We're gonna do our thing.
We do one thing for spooks.
Let me tell you,
we do one of that.
Brock and Malcolm first on the chopping block.
Listen, pull out that planchette.
They walked in the room, turned around twice. They got 2 nooses hanging from the roof.
Yeah.
Got some ghosts and spirits and a mannequin, which I was like, "Now that's a ghost."
Yeah.
And he got a planchette, and yes or no, and he starts talking to the spirits.
Yeah.
Babe, by the time the place starts bleeding and the ghost girl starts getting up, they try and get up and run, and it was entirely too late.
It was.
They were gone.
It was. It was time.
They were gone.
It was already over.
Now, one of the guys are separated and they bump in to motherfucking Molly.
Yeah.
And they were like, Melinda, what are you doing in here?
Right.
She said, you bitches called me on the walkie and said I had to come in. They were like, no, we specifically said not to come in here. Yeah. They was like, no, I begged you not to come in and you come in and walk in and told me I had to. She was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Nobody did that.
Nobody told you.
So they was like, let's go find the people. So now they found Jessica and the rest of the crew and they're like, Molly, what in the hell are you doing in here?
Right.
She was like, you called me on the walkie and said I needed to come in here.
Right.
And it was like, nobody did. They're like, we need to go.
Yeah. It's time to go.
They're like, okay, let's run out of here, get through the exit.
That's what, Mitchell's like, it's time to go. It's time to go.
The door that they came through, locked.
Yeah.
Couldn't get through. Now, me, him, somebody who's allegedly done kicked about 2 doors off the motherfucking hinges and always looking for a third. I don't think personally that they tried to kick the shit out of the door. Now, the demon spirits wanted them. It was gonna get him.
It was gonna get him.
Spoiler alert. They got him. So there probably wasn't much they could have done.
Exactly.
But what I want to tell you is, I don't think that they tried hard enough to get out. Even the sign-in log for the hotel had their names on it.
Yeah.
For checking
it. Did.
No
it did.
checkout date in sight, baby.
That was kind of
So
crazy.
they were like, we gotta go. They're like, no, we gotta find what's his name. They find their dead bodies in there spinning around from the neck.
Brock and his cameraman Malcolm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, everybody did, girl.
Everybody did.
We got 3 more films to get to.
They got you.
But yeah, they all do die.
They do.
We see that Jessica though is bloody, and now more of this video is seeing that Jessica is actually at the police station.
Right.
And
right.
they're
I
like,
think that's how we start off. I think
like
somewhere halfway through.
Yeah,
maybe halfway through. Jessica is at the police station.
And
wig
like,
is tousled,
girl,
bloody. You know, they're questioning her.
We found your crew dead, girl.
And they found her like walking on the side of the road. I think like miles away.
Yeah, you need to tell us what happened. And so now it's like, how did she get out? Well, all this stuff is going on.
Yeah.
Now, and I looked at him and I said, this hotel owner. Well, we found out that the owner of the hotel, he never made it to the TV show.
Exactly.
That was not him. He was in a car crash and he was stuck and couldn't be there.
He's not. I don't think he's the owner of the hotel. He was like the CEO or whatever he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, the government, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's supposed to be Arnold Hasselman. Yeah. Arnold Hasselman never made it to the set of Morning Mysteries to discuss this with Mitchell and Brock.
Despite them being on camera
with that
for like
person.
an hour.
Yeah.
So now we see that this person done kidnapped the people, and he told Mitchell, listen, it's 3 of you. You, Molly, Jessica. One person is making it out of here. Yeah. You know, he gave a very good performance.
Yeah, I need this to go on.
Yeah.
I need some more people somebody to live to draw more people in.
And he was like, okay, you want to make a choice? I'm going to make the first choice for you. Spoiler alert, we know it was going to be Molly dead because we done seen Jessica at the police station.
Exactly.
So then now, you know, Molly's dead. He like, okay, here's the knife. You need to make the final decision. I made all the decisions I'm going to make today. And we hear Jessica screaming. We hear a squelchy little stab and silence. So now I'm like, damn, did he kill himself in front of Jessica? And I wonder, like, what's going on? We see Jessica at the police station.
Yeah.
Jessica's dead, y'all.
Yeah, she's dead. There's a spot where she has like a sinister ass grin.
Yeah, because we see her through the lens of the thing, and we see the real decay. Yeah. And the hotel is letting the spirits out to draw people in. Yes. And it's doing so much right now.
Yeah.
So now we have part 3, Lake of Fire. Now, all of the content, and then we find out at the end of part 2 that, you know, the guy who made them get the choice, he was like, babes, I've been sending video of all of this in real time to Russ Wynn.
Yeah.
And Russ is coming.
Yeah, and you get the full embodiment of that character. And you also, in part 2, towards the end, you find out that Alex from part 1 met with this Arnold Hasselback person.
Yes.
And that's how he's kind of pulled into
my goodness,
this whole financial thing.
Because in part 1, it seems like Alex just discovered the hotel, was approached, and never been inside. But he had been in the hotel many times.
And you see the additional footage of him in part 2.
Yeah.
And so that expands on the lore.
Yeah.
And so now Russ Wynn that was mentioned in part 2 shows up as the main character
in part 3. 2 years prior. So now 9 years since the initial event. 2 years from the last film, which was 2 years from the initial event. It's going down. Okay. Yeah. And this is taking place. So the events that we're watching again, this is 2 years after that. We're seeing something that happened in the year in between.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a year after, you know, the last film, the hotel was supposed to be demolished.
Correct.
But Russ Wynn, who had been receiving all the videos, bought the hotel.
That is an in-between year. Yeah.
So then he was hosting a play at the Insomnia Hotel. Now, he's this philanthropist. He's very wealthy, businessman, mogul. And this film is pulling video from many different sources. I do think that things were getting a little muddy, but they were really just getting ready to wrap things up. Yeah. And I think the muddiness is because they were also showing you bits of part 1 and 2 already. Yeah. And this was, you know, for all intents and purposes, their swan song. We're wrapping up.
Yeah, this was supposed to be the last one.
Yeah.
Part 3 was. And so, yeah, it definitely has, they tell you up front, hey, we got video from all different types of sources, and it's all going to be here. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what we are now. Russell is there to do Insomnia, which is like a take on Faust. Yeah. He's done that before, and he's known for his, like, interactive type of things. Yeah. So everybody's like, oh, my God, we're so excited. Everybody's so excited.
For the girls who know, if you've ever seen, what was it, Gossip Girl? Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the mask, and we got Chuck and Blair at the hotel. Yeah. It's very that.
It's very much that. We actually thought about that.
People wear their masks, and they're walking around as nobody. So you're not distracted. You're just an observer, and you're watching the play in, like, these all-white masks.
Exactly. There's various scenes and vignettes in each room as you go through.
So now the show Morning Mysteries is now ran by Vanessa.
Correct.
She agreed to do an in-depth behind the scenes of the production, specifically only so she could meet Russell Wynn.
Yeah, she was very excited about Russell Wynn. I mean, everybody would be, given like how his character is set up. Yeah. Like he is like the one you want to meet. So yeah. So she was super excited about that.
They're in there. He enacted a buddy system. Yeah. No one is to be left alone. No one is to go into the basement, and no one is to return to the building after we wrap for the day.
Correct.
And that was supposed to be it. So now it's giving like, what is she up to? She's in on the team. Up to? What's going on, Russell? Yeah. And he's paying anybody anything to be here. Yeah. He's like, this event needs to happen. He's paying people the most they've ever been paid. And we got these little quirky, dorky actors in there trying to show out and do this stuff. And like, you know, events are happening.
Yeah, and things start, when things start to happen, some of the cast gets very shaky and he doubles their pay. Triples their pay. You know, it's very much that like, please stay here. Yeah. And it does give the sense that Russell knows that something is going on.
Absolutely.
And so, and it's crazy in this one too, because it's crazy to see the hotel like revamped because it looks so decrepit in the last two. Yeah. But Russell and his team has really like revamped it for a play. Yeah. So it looks completely different. I mean, the setup is the same. You can recognize stuff. And they do a good job of like playing back previous parts with this one. But yeah, it was really cool to see that like the hotel vamped up and with a nice coat of paint on it.
Yeah. The main character in this is Vanessa. Can't stand her. Yeah. Jessica. Okay, Alex and Jessica both led their teams to their death. Yes. Vanessa had like one camera guy.
Louis. Yes.
Louis, and you know, shit got rough and real in there. But I think it was just she was just so above it all, and yet I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's that whole thing with I think she was just really, I don't know what she was really about. Because you would think that Jessica would be more like this, because then Jessica wasn't about the paranormal bullshit. Yeah. She was really about exposing and, you know, making sure that people weren't corrupt.
Yeah. I think because Jessica had like a certain level of excitement and enthusiasm for it and for the win. Yeah. Vanessa really was just like, begrudgingly doing everything.
Yeah.
And she did some wild shit to shake some stuff up.
She did. Like she thought she was on to something.
Yeah.
And when you by the time you get to the end, you find out that she really wasn't on to anything.
She actually wasn't. And she did have a big reveal. So just some things. One of the young ladies, is there to go in and take a picture.
Yeah.
Like booping one of the clowns on the nose. She's drunk as hell and ridiculous. She goes down there and actually kisses. Now, once she's going in there, she's being chased.
Yeah.
Followed by one of these lady in white mannequins for the play.
Right.
And then she, instead of booping the clown on the nose, she kisses one of the clowns.
Yeah.
And then in what is probably one of the best, scariest shots of all 5 films.
Ooh.
When she pulls away from kissing the one clown, the other clown's head is now turned and watching her. And as she slowly pivots her head with her camera, every millimeter she moves, the clown moves as well. And it's moving, it's alive.
Yeah, it's very much that thing though, where is the eyes of the painting following me?
It's following me.
It is given that.
Yeah. So we ultimately find out that we knew Russ was in a crazy car accident years ago.
Yeah, back in like 2008.
Yeah, which is like the year before everything was getting started.
Yeah, before Hell House opened, the year before, he was in a car crash and he died.
He died.
And they were like, yeah, that's the running theme. Like, oh, he died for like 2 minutes.
Yeah. And it started to get like more graphic. They was just like, yeah, he was in a bad car accident. It was a bad accident. It was kind of crazy. Yeah, it was touch and go for a minute. And then by the end, they were like, nah, he died.
Yeah, he straight up died.
He straight up died.
And had a scar down one side of his face.
And he came back.
Yeah.
So, Vanessa thinks that something is going on. She finds out because he was like, don't come here that night.
Yeah,
you can get dressed rehearsal. Don't bother coming. I got some stuff to do.
Yeah, don't come on
and
opening night.
And she was like, no, you said that I got the full behind the scenes. What are you up to? She goes to talk to her priest and he's like, why is he liquidating all of his assets at midnight?
Exactly.
When the thing is supposed to pop off. So she leaks the news, sets an uproar. People are just like, liquidate? Am I still getting paid?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
And she was like, he up to something. And of course, he's wealthy enough that nothing happens. And he was like, you ain't stopping this show, bitch.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, damn.
Right.
And the show went on. So she stayed in there,
at this point, it's giving Alex.
Yeah.
Alex was like, we're putting this shit on.
Absolutely. So, in the middle of the first thing, old ghosty ghost, Tully, comes up and he starts killing.
That's true. In the first scene, Tully shows up and just starts killing. And
then it's a stampede and, bitches start dying.
Yeah.
And people started getting out and it was a whole thing. We started seeing writing on the walls that we find out in later films that it means that the gate is open in the next film. And we found out in part 2, and this one we found out the gate is open.
Yeah.
So even when people started running outside, the ghouls, which did not happen in the first film, ran outside too and started killing people in the parking lot.
When they say open, they mean wide open.
Child.
And so they out in the parking lot. Like you really can't escape. You get killed on the inside. If you make it outside, the road pickers are running around and they sluicing people out there.
Killing them.
So it's mayhem.
So now they had like a very great cinematic shot of like in the bar scene
with that lazy Susan.
Yeah.
It was.
Because it's revolving like 3 times every time they come in the room, and a different bitch is getting gotten a different way. They were whooping their ass. The ghouls came out and they were not playing.
They were not playing.
They were killing them
They
horrifically.
were not playing.
Well, Vanessa got up unscathed until somebody grabbed her by her little ankle.
Ooh.
Dragged that bitch to the fucking basement.
They did.
Chopped that heifer up. And later there was about to really finish her off.
Right.
And then here came, what's his name?
Russell Wynn.
And started fighting with
run
the
down
Tully
there.
bitch.
Yeah, and Tully's like, who are you?
And he said,
what are you doing down here?
I'm her, bitch. They start fighting. They get to tussling, shaking the table.
This is when the back blow off that bitch.
The back door started opening up. We got some not the best fire graphics.
Right.
But it was fire nonetheless. And they were like, don't you know this is the lake of fire? And the whole building started coming down.
Yeah.
The entire Abaddon Hotel caved in, burnt to the ground. Then we got news alerts saying that the entire staff,
cast, crew, visitors, everybody
were found in the field out back, laid out, but completely fine.
Completely fine. Everybody's alive. Every person that we saw dead in there was back alive. And in the back of the in the field.
Back of the back.
Back of the back. Just sitting back there.
Back of rat.
Yeah.
And you know, there was another light-skinned biracial man who was in this film talking to Vanessa. Don't have his name right now.
Yeah.
Contradicts you to everything I said, not but. 20 minutes
exactly.
But they were like, girl, now I know we died.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, Russell was down there tussling with the devil.
Yeah.
And I think he saved us. Thought he was a devil, but he might have been an angel.
He might have been.
And it was something about like, yeah, no man on earth could stop this.
Yeah.
And so apparently, so now the T is when the crash happened, I think they were always going after Russell because of Russell's influence. We know that the house and the ghosts were seeking out people that went to get Alex to have this moment.
Right.
I think they were always going for Russell. And I think the angel, right, because Russell actually had been getting the footage and playing a part since the first film in 2008.
They do a cut back, and you see that on the expanded shots, Russell has been in both of the bars that the groups were in. He's been in various locations with them.
Following them, and
he's been there all along.
And I don't know if he was there all along before the crash or after the crash. I think it's before. And I think because he was being targeted to be there to get the information, and then when the accident happened, the angel was like, hold on, baby. This is a setup.
Yeah.
And we need to intercept this demonic presence and send one of our own warriors down there.
Yeah.
So we could take over this.
It after
that the angel came after.
And that's when you start to see.
And I love
Russell.
that. I love that we have different points of view because I feel like they were working and twisting it up.
Yeah.
And then they took that moment of that car crash and Angel was like,
Yeah.
He's tied to the
Now I do agree.
Abaddon.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he was already hand selected.
I can see that.
Because they were already going to do this stuff.
It's been working since the 70s. So yeah.
So very exciting.
Very much
very crazy. So now, seemingly out of nowhere, we get Hell House LLC for the Carmichael matter.
Right.
Now, I don't know if the Carmichaels were mentioned before.
They were.
Ooh.
I have a note in part 2. Yeah, I have a note in part 2. Because, you know, Andrew Tully built this Andrew Tully built the Abaddon Hotel. All the stuff went down with the woman apparently escaping out with her child. All that went down. And, you know, news spread around town that Andrew Tully was on some cult type shit. Right. And he was. So that's been confirmed to us, the viewers. Everybody in the movie, they still don't really want to believe it.
Right.
They still, they was never convicted.
Very good.
So we know that. But the thing that was mentioned in part 2 was that Patrick Carmichael, an employee of Andrew Tully, they mentioned it. It was not there the night because as most cults do.
Yeah.
They committed a mass suicide.
Right.
Yeah. And so that was the whole thing, you know, to get the ball rolling for the supernatural aspect.
Yeah.
So yeah. And so he wasn't there. So they were mentioned. The Carmichaels were mentioned early on.
Right. I forgot you said that. Yes. Okay. So now part 4, we take a look at the Carmichael manor. Take a look at Patrick Carmichael. The film opens up again. This is less found footage in the original, and it's more of like I guess another documentary. Yeah. So they do this stuff kind of like these interviews, and this is even more polished. This looks like a real something like, you know, people investigates or whatever. Yeah. And we got Bradley Moynihan. He's a co-founder of Nets Flutes. And then we have Alicia, who's a writer of a book called Buried Secrets.
Correct.
So we have this story of the Carmichael family where the mom and one of the sisters were violently murdered on a snowy day. And the expected suspects were the dad, Arthur, and the son, Patrick.
Correct.
Except the dad, Arthur, has now been missing for years.
Yeah, as is Patrick.
And it's Patrick.
Both of them have been missing for the last 30 years.
Yeah, and Patrick was presumed to be a victim and not one of the killers because he had suffered a horrible car crash. And, you know, at the beginning of the film, it was saying, like, he could not use his arm. One of his arms were disabled.
Like in a sling?
Yeah.
Or, I don't know if it was, did you interpret it as, like, fully unusable ever again?
The way they stated it in the beginning was that he could not have been the one to do it because after the car crash, he lost the use of one of his arms.
Oh.
And
I just interpreted it as just a broken arm. Well, but that makes it even crazier what you're saying.
That's just how I took it, but it was very much like implied like, well, it couldn't be him, girl, because, you know, the car crash and he, you know, his arm was messed up.
Yeah.
So my goodness, brutalized. Yeah. Now, after the murders at the house, there was only one pair of footsteps.
Correct. One pair of footsteps in the snow. So that just adds to the mystery of the Carmichael Manor.
And they believe that the dad, who was a big, hefty, sturdy girl, killed Don Patrick, picked him up and carried his body out of there.
Yeah.
But who can never be sure?
Well, we can. We're about to tell you right now.
Yeah. So now this story is following Margot and Rebecca.
Correct. They are actually, it's really Margot is the investigator.
Yeah. Margot's an investigator.
She's the net sleuth, right?
Yeah. And Rebecca is her girlfriend.
Her partner. Yeah, her partner. Oh, yeah, her girlfriend. It's better to say girlfriend because we're talking about business and stuff here.
Yeah, this is her
girlfriend. Okay. And Rebecca is a real estate something or another.
Yeah, she's coming up in the world. She's trying to do, you know, her real estate and get these different properties, but she left her woman, supporting her woman. We're going to go. Bradley is the boss who sent him out on the assignment. Was like, all right, you know, it's cool, you know. I support her, but it's some spooky shit that went down, and we got some footage that got sent to us again in post, baby. You know, after all the events went down.
Exactly, and that's Margot's thing. And that's a big area of contention in her and Rebecca's relationship because Margot always wants to go to these places that she's investigating. Yeah. And stay there if she can.
Crazy. And, you know, up until now, they've never found any place that's actually haunted.
Right. They're just quote unquote haunted.
Yeah. So, you know, we go and we find out that, like, Patrick was in a car crash with another one of his sisters.
Correct.
Who was killed. Yeah. They were doing a show up in the city, and they used to do this whole like clown bit and have them as dressed as clowns. Yeah. And we also find out, well, we talk more about the fact that there was like a town carnival that is very close. So the Carmichael Manor is very close to where Abaddon is.
It is very close to the Abaddon Hotel.
You know, small town living. For those of you in the Virgin Islands, like, they live west side and somebody lives out Tutu. It's like the same place, but it's like 15, 20 minutes away.
Yeah, because I know they were driving like 20 minutes on a dirt road and they still hadn't got to the Carmichael house.
Absolutely.
And they were on the Carmichael like estate or the land.
Yeah.
But that's how far out it is, but it is relatively close because Patrick was working at the Abaddon Hotel.
Yeah, he was working at the Abaddon Hotel. And, you know, he has started to go to the carnival. So we find out another horrible car crash. So now we're learning about these car crashes that's been happening.
Yeah, because Russ was in a car crash in the last one.
Yeah.
Back in 2008. Patrick and Margaret were in a car crash in this one. Margaret died.
Yeah. And they were hit by a car of a bunch of drunk drivers.
That's true. A bunch of quote unquote town drunks. You know, drunkards. They ended up T-boning them and killing Margaret. And Patrick was wounded.
Yeah. So we find out that Patrick had been going to the carnival, and there were these two gentlemen who had a booth that was like down a clown. You know, where you throw the balls and hit the clown and you win prizes.
Exactly.
Now, for whatever spooky ass reason, their clown costumes were terrifying. And horrific. Now, they were in partnership with Andrew Tully. The owner of the hotel.
Correct.
And Tully went on the run after his daughter was harmed, and he was supposedly absolved of her harm, but he fled states.
He did.
He was
did.
In Virginia or something. But ultimately,
I feel like he was in Arkansas.
Yeah,
he was in Arkansas originally, I believe. That's all that does come out here. There's so much lore. I thought that came out in the next one. So yeah, Andrew Tully, he was a religious guy. He was in Arkansas. That's where he was originally.
Yeah.
And his daughter Abigail did die.
Yeah.
He did flee to avoid this arrest warrant that was going on, and he did end up in West Virginia.
Yeah.
So you are on to something.
Okay.
And that's where he meets Thomas Rollins and Freddie Perkins.
Correct.
Who run that carnival shit down a clown. And so they're all kind of thick as thieves, and then they all go up to New York.
Yeah.
And get the Abaddon
because of the name of the town.
Yeah.
And we knew about his cult and everything in the first film, and the murders in the hotel, but the cult actually started at the town fair.
Exactly. And they would say that these guys, Thomas and Freddie, were the first official cult members.
Absolutely.
Now that we got a power of 3, let's roll.
Let's roll and let's circle this shit up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we see that in modern day, we have Margot, her brother, who has been on drugs, we hear, and has been struggling, showed up,
His name is Chase. And the more and more I watch it, I'm like, was he on drugs or does he have schizophrenia or something? Because I was because at first I did think he was on drugs. He had a bad break. The whole thing was he had been missing for a few days and suddenly resurfaced back at his parents' house. Yeah. Which is crackhead behavior.
Right.
So, but maybe he just has mental health stuff and he has a mental break.
Well, beyond that, we know that the Abaddon has been working for decades.
Correct.
And has been outreaching. And the only reason he actually answered the call is because there was a young girl that couldn't find her way that said to go with your sister.
Right.
And that girl could have been Abigail Tully.
It could have been. We don't know.
But that girl told him to when your sister calls, go. And we know that the house is telling people to go. We have Abaddon eyes, you know?
Yeah.
So he probably had done drugs. Cause I think he said that, I did do drugs, but I don't think he was in that state. I don't even think it was psychological. I think that the house was taking advantage, and it basically was already working on him to get him there with Margot and Rebecca. And we find out that we have these different hellmouths, for the Buffy fans I know. These different points that have concentrated amounts of evil that also works as gates. Hell houses.
Yeah.
And actually everybody's a victim in this except for Margot. Margot, this was all your fault. You got everybody killed. Chase doesn't even get acknowledged as a dead person.
The first couple of check-ins, the first couple of mentions of this, Chase is not mentioned at all. And it's 2 people were dead, 2 people were dead.
Only one person references.
Exactly. And when we start off, we know that within 5 days,
the girls are dead.
That's how they found the body. That's how the movie starts. So we know what's going to eventually happen.
This film was so good because it scaled back on the cast, right? And it's really about them. Now we do see the Carmichael family, and we see Patrick after the accident, the devolution with his surviving sister at the time, who dies in the onslaught and is killed by either him or his dad.
Exactly.
And she's doing home footage. She's making these home movies.
Yeah.
And she's trying to do this video to get on the show. And that's where the found footage comes from. While at the same time, Margot trying to do her show for her Honda.
Exactly.
So we have 2 different styles. So one really genius, because a home movie and a doc style are going to be 2 different types of cameras.
Exactly.
One is from the 80s, one is now. 2 different type of camera qualities, and they did that, which is very good.
Yeah.
Scaling back on the cast, because while we do have the Carmichael family, in my mind, that's something so separate. I'm able to compartmentalize the storylines.
For sure.
And for the modern haunting, whatever, we only got 2 people.
Yeah.
And it's 3. Chase, Margot and Rebecca.
Yeah, they keep it, kind of streamlined that way.
Yeah.
So that is very good.
We find out that after the Abaddon burns down in the last film,
right?
What would you say? Pawn shop gets some of the stuff that's
antique shop.
Antique shop.
They specifically said an antique shop. Got some of the stuff, was able to recover some of the things.
Yeah.
And so they actually have a whole like Abaddon section where you can come and purchase some goods.
Yeah, it was crazy because they found in the field the planchette from Brock in the prior film far away.
Yeah.
From the burnout Abaddon.
Yeah.
Super crazy. And so they go in and they find a clock that has a bunch of documents and files and information and stuff in there. And they take it and they go on back to the house. They're the only people at the Carmichael house. Nobody's lived in a Carmichael house since the 80s long term. True. People have said they've seen stuff. They're supposed to have the best Wi-Fi, which we know the ghosts are going to ghost it up. Yeah. And then we find out that in Patrick's room, in a storage room that was until now locked and inaccessible.
Correct.
Margot, nosy ass, finds her way in there, and we see these two clown mannequins.
Exactly.
That look similar to, but not exactly like the other clown.
Yeah, there's a main clown that's been like going throughout the whole series.
Yeah.
He's dressed in black and white. He's crying blood essentially.
Yeah, or black bile.
One of the two. It looks similar to him, but it's not him. We're like, but it's reminiscent of. So it's very much that's starting to also the mention of Abaddon, but it's starting to connect this.
Yeah.
Because it really is not given that it's connected. That's another reason, again, why I didn't really want to watch. I didn't really press to watch all of these because it wasn't really given that they all were connected. But
maybe they are connected like Lego.
Exactly.
Okay. So we find out that like after the death of the one sister, which I think Patrick liked her a little bit more because they shared the passion of the performance. The other sister was like the videographer, and he was getting tired of her, especially after the funeral.
Yeah,
and the film starts, and she was like, "You gotta say the prayer at the funeral." He's like, "Girl, ain't gonna be no prayers.
Exactly.
We're not saying goodbye.
We're not."
And she was like, "Well, girl, what?"
Yeah, she was very logical, very, much like, well, that's the beginning of the mourning process, and it makes it all real when you put the body in the ground. And she was that type of girl.
Yeah.
That's who Catherine was. Yeah. Catherine was that type of girl.
Yeah.
But that's a good point.
The other sister, Margaret, is the one who died in the car crash. So
correct.
We find out the 7 drunks got her killed, and then, Tully was like, what if we could bring her back? What if she could live forever and we could live forever?
Right, that's the ideas he's spreading around with Patrick. And Patrick mentioned some of this stuff in passing to Catherine. And Catherine is like, girl that's not how any of this works.
It's not. So he knew she couldn't trust her. Yeah. He has a trunk in her room, and he was like, stay out of there.
Right.
And she, of course, comes back when he's gone. And she's gone through his stuff.
Yeah, she's like, what is this? And he's like, he's keeping this stuff for his bosses.
Yeah.
Which we know now that
is Tully.
Is Tully and Thomas and Freddie.
Yeah. And then we see the clown has shifted and looking at her in the mirror as she's going through the trunk.
Correct.
So now it's looking a lot more like Patty and not really the daddy. As time is going on, Chase is scared. Chase is seeing stuff in the house.
Chase is so scared. In modern day, Chase is scared.
Yeah.
He's very scared.
Rebecca is scared, and Rebecca is
scared too.
Margot let them down. Let her down.
Yeah.
And they should have left a long time ago.
Yeah.
We already know they're going to die, and it's so painful. This film does another good thing because we see them leave several times, go outside, say they're going to leave, and then don't. And we're like, what's going to be the thing that gets y'all killed?
Yeah.
But ultimately,
it's
you should watch it because we can't even describe how it's going to be. It's pretty good. But
it is really good.
Even with us telling it to you, it's going to be things that's just in there. So ultimately, we find out that, in one of the last home movies we see, Catherine is just like, where the hell have you been, Patrick? We've been scared. And you're like, bitch, shut up. I was in jail. She was like, girl, everybody at the hotel is dead. She's like, I know I was supposed to be there too. She's like, what?
That's crazy. Yeah, it's so true. So what's going on? As he's walking up the stairs, he takes that little sling off his arm. And you know what? It is given fully disabled because it wasn't like a cast. It was a sling.
Yeah.
And he had been in the car accident weeks ago.
Yeah.
If you put like the timeline together, weeks ago. So as he's coming up the stairs, he takes that sling off and threw that shit over the railing. He said, "I'm not gonna need that anymore."
Nah.
And so things are afoot. He's like, "Yeah, I was supposed to be there. Everybody's dead. Yeah, things are getting real."
Yeah. So ultimately, in the final kills, we find out that, of course, by now Patrick is the killer.
Patrick is the killer, and
Of
Patrick.
his family.
Yeah, of his family, and Patrick has been that black and white clown that we've been seeing
Inside
throughout
of
the
it.
entire series. And because all this is going on in 1989, in theory, he could just be alive. And imbued with some kind of supernatural something or another.
We've actually not seen him unmasked in present day.
We've never seen him unmasked.
At the end, we got a clip of him, like, looking sad, like, "I'm sorry, we have to serve him. We all do."
Yeah.
So maybe he didn't really know what he bit off.
Signed up for it. Yeah.
He's in it now, and he puts the mask on, steps out, and we see the red, and we just hear screams, and we assume he's going to go kill
everybody. Yeah.
Now
we still don't know what happened to his dad, but
we don't know.
But we have to assume it was the reverse, that he left with his dad on his shoulders.
Probably. He's a big bitch.
But we don't know what happened to Arthur.
So now, Hell House LLC.
Now we're up to the one that we really wanted.
No, we wanted to watch it all.
No, we wanted to watch it all. We're up to the one that started it all.
That started it all, okay?
Actually.
So now, we see this guy out there on the campground, and we see the Down the Clown attraction. The fair is done.
Yeah, that is how it starts.
Everybody's leaving, and we see this man look, and he's about to leave, and he see the lights turn back on for the clown attraction.
Yeah.
Looks inside and sees a wad of cash.
Yeah.
Greedy bitch.
Yeah.
So he goes around back. First of all, if I'm gonna steal, I'm gonna just jump over the thing. First of all, I would not steal.
Yeah.
But if I was him and I was gonna steal, I'm not going all the way around back.
Mm-hmm.
You really could have reached in and grabbed the money.
I mean, I feel like it was so far away. You couldn't really just reach over the front.
You could just reach over the front, but I mean, jump in, jump out, your car right there. He goes all the way around, goes through the back, comes in. Now he sees the clown. The clown that we now know Patrick was inside of at some
exactly.
point. And the clown is sitting at the edge and the money's in between him. He looks at the clown and he still goes with his greed and he picks up the money.
Wad of cash.
He looks at it and he sees the clown hand move. He's like, what? Next thing you know, the lights shut down and the front of the carnival booth drops.
Yeah.
And he's locked in there.
Yeah.
And he sees the clown's hand moves again. He runs, he tries to get out. The door is locked. And again, as somebody who's done kicked up a couple of doors, baby girl didn't want to get out badly enough to me. To me.
Okay.
Until if you don't grab your pants by the knees, hunch them up, and rear back and really kick up the fucking door.
Yeah.
You didn't want to get out, baby.
Yeah.
You did not want to live.
Yeah.
Well, we heard a heavy thud of a footsteps of the clown. He goes back, the clown is gone.
Yeah.
Takes a couple steps, next thing we know, the clown is behind him. So the clown is doing some mystical shit.
The clown is doing mystical stuff. Be able to do. Which, Patrick had already healed his arm. His arm had already healed.
Yeah.
So he had an idea of what was going on. So he could be supernaturally imbued now. This is again the first one to be in a traditional film setup. Yeah. This one is not a found footage at all. Part 5 is a traditional film. Yeah. I don't know if that was influenced by the creator's previous film, 825 Forest Road, or if it's just to me it just makes more sense at this point. Yeah. Because how many people are you gonna have go through this place, found footage style and not,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And now the place is burnt down. So it burnt down, in part 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie has some great shots. The great shot with Catherine at the beginning, where she's filming her brother and sister drive off. And then when she goes into the house, it's already the funeral. So,
yeah.
It was a great transition because she's out there in her overalls and she goes in the house and is like dressed in all black.
Yeah.
So that was a good transition. I thought that was nice at the beginning. But so we do learn more so about the Abaddon eyes. Not even learn, but we hear a lot mentioned of the Abaddon eyes. in this installment, because that's the whole thing. If you've been in Abaddon or you're in Abaddon, you start to see stuff that may not necessarily be real.
Yeah. And the beginning part with the death at the carnival was in 93.
Yeah.
So that was 4 years after the events
of the Carmichael.
At the Carmichael and the first killing of the Abaddon with the cult.
Correct.
Correct.
All they happened in the same year. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. So now we see Vanessa is back. She's meeting with a therapist.
Yes.
And she's having these nightmares. Yeah. Right? When she's leaving the therapist, she sees Bobby Hopewell at the therapist's office.
Correct.
They meet eyes and they go about their way. Apparently, he went to work at her bar.
Correct.
That she opened. Now, Vanessa, why are you back in Abaddon? Girl, I don't know.
And people even ask her that.
Yeah.
We know that, this shit is crazy.
Yeah.
She survived part 3.
You died and came back.
Exactly. And then returned.
Why would you come back to this town?
Exactly.
And she's like, I've been having these dreams and like this stuff and I've been seeing things.
Yeah.
And like the therapist was like, girl, dreams happen. You gotta process that trauma.
That part.
Bobby Hopewell sees her, calls her. She doesn't answer or whatever. Now Bobby's standing at the top of his stairs and he sees a red ball on his nightstand. And he's like, what the hell is this? So I think he like drops his phone downstairs or something like that.
Yeah, the thing of it is that while he was calling her, he was actually downstairs already. He was like in the dining area.
Yeah.
And he when he hung up the phone because she didn't answer, he saw a red ball on his table.
Right.
He picked it up and then threw it outside the door. That's why it was even more of a gag when he was upstairs in his bed and was woken up by his phone, I think vibrating or text or something. And then he saw that and then saw the red ball.
Yeah.
And that was something's afoot here.
He hears something, he grabs a hammer.
Correct.
He goes to the top of his stairs, looks down and drops his phone his phone drops at the feet of the clown. Clown. When Vanessa's walking through the town, they got people who has the Abaddon clown like in their front yard
as an attraction.
And it's like, but it looks like it, but it's not it.
Yeah.
So then the phone is at the clown's feet and he's just like, it's just Abaddon eyes. He walks out by. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
You came with the hammer because you thought you heard something downstairs and then you saw the clown.
Yeah.
Even if you thought it was Abaddon eyes, you should have swung, bitch. You should have did something. He convinces himself that's not real because it couldn't be. I'm looking for something regular person. Babes. He walks by it and then he hears the footsteps of the clown that he just walked by. Honestly, watching it twice, because we after watching all of the films, we watched this one again. It was so painful. The sadness of he knew he was dead.
Acting. He was acting down.
He knew. He
did. He knew it.
And the clown just grabs him, and we don't really see what the clown does or how it kills him. But a lot of the times we see in other footage or their ghost version of what their body looks like. Yeah. And it's hell, babe.
Literally.
It's very LLC.
Bad.
So the doctor calls in Vanessa and was like, you need to come in here.
You need to come in today.
And,
you can come in the 4 sessions.
Trendell was like, oh, this is kind of crazy. And let me say, it is illegal.
It is crazy and it is illegal.
For a doctor.
You're like, hey, I need to talk to you about one of my patients that died.
But the doctor was a black woman.
Correct.
In an upstate haunted New York.
Yeah.
She did everything she was exactly supposed to do. She did everything I would have done.
Yeah.
Y'all could come and get my motherfucking license because Vanessa, get your ass in here. You remember Bobby Hopewell?
Yeah.
Oh, he died. Remember the guy I told you who said his daddy died in the 90s? And then he's been seeing him and been seeing stuff about Abaddon?
Right.
That's him. And then she was like, oh, he called me and left a message. She was like, girl, about what? She was like, I don't know. I didn't call him back. I didn't get a chance to speak. She's like, well, girl. She's like, I thought you said this was fake.
To know that this is happening.
Right. Vanessa's just like, well, I thought you thought this was fake. She's like, well, bitches are dead. So
people are dead. I mean, even if it is fake, I want to, put you on the alert and be, on your shit. Yeah. I really felt like in that scene, though, the doctor did feel like something bigger is happening here than just a psychosis.
Yeah.
And she had brought this patient up to her previously. The doctor had brought this up to Vanessa, but she hadn't told her who it was.
Yeah.
And the reason she brought him up was because Vanessa's mom and stepdad died in a car crash as well.
Another car crash.
Well, yeah, a car crash. Yeah. And she was like, what did that have to do with me? My parents died in 2008.
Right.
You know, I put a little pin in that because I don't know if that was the same car crash that Russ Wynn was in 2008.
Right.
That's never confirmed or denied,
Definitely.
but it's the same year.
Exactly.
So,
and like she just keeps letting more and more stuff release about her life. Like she's a secret twin, but her twin brother allegedly didn't survive in birth. What?
Right. Yeah. She has a necklace, and that's how that all comes out because she ends up meeting with Alicia. Yeah. Alicia or Alicia? Alicia.
Yeah.
I'll try to make it a little too fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She meets with Alicia, who was again at the beginning of the last film. She's a writer of Buried Stories.
Correct. Buried Secrets.
Buried
Secrets.
Secrets.
Book, just some kind of mystery book, but she was like kind of like a consultant in the documentary about the last one. So yeah.
And she meets up with her, and Alicia got all the tea, baby. Alicia sat her down at the table and was like, let me tell you something, right?
Let me tell you, because I've been talking to Bobby. I know why Bobby called you. Yeah, I've been talking to him for a bit.
Yeah, remember Bobby's dad? You know, Bobby's dad died? Mm-hmm. Well, Bobby's dad was one of the drunkards in the car that killed Margaret Carmichael.
Back in 89.
Correct. And she said a bunch of people who did, and when they found his dad, when his daddy disappeared, all they found was a red ball in the field. And she was like, these are a bunch of people. She started running down. It was very Final Destination.
It was very good.
But to me, even more clean.
More clean. They low-key been setting this up all along.
I think Final Destination Bloodlines, a lot of the excitement is in not knowing all of the details.
Right.
And being obscure, and the big calendar and the map and the book and everything, and freeze framing it. And I would buy Final Destination Bloodlines so that way. I think I need the whole collection. I think I was waiting for that to come out so I could get the whole collection, so I could freeze frame and look, because they really wrote the stuff down. In this, Mama showed up, and it still gives you like when Claire Rivers is in part 2, and she was like, this person was supposed to die in this order, and this, that, and the third.
Exactly.
So Alicia is breaking it down that his dad was the driver that killed Margaret.
Correct.
And not only was he dead, but his kid is dead.
Yeah, at this point.
Okay? Yeah. He went missing from the fairgrounds in the 90s. And every single one of the drunk passengers have been hunted down and killed or is missing.
Correct.
Another one of the victims is one of the actors that we hear in part 1. Alex is discussing with the actors, and the actors wanting to leave. Right. Not wanting to stay.
Exactly.
The actor stayed and was killed in the basement of the Abaddon during Hell House LLC.
Yeah, exactly. And they were the child of one of the guys in the truck.
Absolutely.
Their dad went missing.
Now, the one that peeled my wig back was the fact that Mr. Graves, Harper Graves, was somebody who was a driver. He was one of the most drunk passengers. He don't even remember
what
accident. He
exactly.
don't remember none of it. Right? And died. Left, had a daughter whose name was Diana Graves.
Correct.
Who was the investigator from the first film.
Exactly.
Who was murdered by ghostly Sarah after being tricked into unlocking room 2C at the Abaddon.
Correct.
And was a partner of Mitchell, who went there to save her in part 3.
Correct.
When I tell you,
just how interwoven.
I'm gonna put the kill list for the Carmichaels up. It's 5 people.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
It was crazy. But the one that stands out.
The one that stood out at the end was Marvin Haskins.
Correct.
And who was this? That's the daddy of Troy Haskins. And who the fuck is Troy Haskins? That's Vanessa's bitch ass husband, who they're now getting a divorce.
They're getting a divorce. He told her like, hey, if you can sign the papers, that's a reason to call me.
It's tumultuous.
Yeah.
He does not care about her. We think that he's secretly gay, but he is having an affair with the receptionist at his office.
Yeah, like that.
He got his lips pursed, dipped in mulberry, and he got his eyeliner on. We love it. We live it. And he was so nasty to Vanessa.
He was.
And the thing I hated the most about that is that I hate Vanessa.
Yeah.
So anyone who makes me bright. It's
and Vanessa is very mopey. You know, Rayleigh didn't care for Vanessa in her debut.
Couldn't take her.
Part 3.
And now after trauma,
she is very mopey.
Can't take her.
This movie can be kind of sleepy at times. Yeah. It's very,
because it's walking in the power and the energy of everything that we've already seen.
Exactly. That's why we're like, you need to watch all of them because it's so good.
And Vanessa is just so like a contrarian and just questioning everything. Like, Bobby is dead. First of all,
catch yourself.
Sorry,
Queen.
I'm gonna cut that one. You just had an ooze, and you hear me say cut that. First of all, bitch.
Oh,
she is a bitch.
Oh,
she was another word, but she is a bitch. You survived.
Yeah, you were brought back to life.
House. You were revived and brought back to life from an angel. Why are you skeptical? Ain't nothing I hate more than a fucking
that's true. She didn't really want to believe the whole thing with the lineages and everything.
Like, that's the stretch.
That's true.
That's the stretch, Vanessa. That this could all be tied to something bigger.
I guess she's even questioning I think she's also even questioning if whatever happened in part 3 really happened to her.
Mama, it happened.
You know, and she's having these weird dreams, and what she's dreaming about isn't even
tied to what's happening.
The place she's dreaming about this old white house with this like cross outside, which is not the Abaddon Hotel. It's not the Carmichael Manor. So she really is twisting in the wind, and she don't know which way is up.
And then another thing that we find out is that every time she passes out or dreams, this girl is dreaming and seeing another perspective, mostly from part 3. No, part 4 of the film.
Part 4. She's seeing other parts of the Carmichael storyline.
Things that were happening inside that. When I tell you, please do not study reviews. I have to assume that people didn't watch all the films.
Yeah, because this is reviewed lower than it should be, honestly.
Even people saying that this isn't like a good finale or whatever. Let me tell you something. They got me hooked in, and I'm hoping for a 6th film to really wrap up what this is. Yeah. Because I don't think it's a finale of sorts. Really, I think it's really teeing up some more.
Yeah, I do have a factoid about that. But we'll wait till the end of the
shit.
We'll wait till the end of this movie.
Okay, now.
And I'll give you.
I kind of want it now, but yeah. So it's super intense.
It's really good, and because she's not just. It's one thing to have visions or dreams of the past, but she's actually interacting with the past.
She's seeing things.
It's more than just dreams.
Oh, it was so amazing.
That was really good.
At different vantage points. And then, honestly, again, the creator, Cognetti,
Steven is on something.
A genius because you would have had to have the presence of mind to film those same scenes from different vantage points, so he has the footage, or film it twice, or do it at the same time. You got the house back, got the Abaddon for those 3 movies and this one. It was just so great. It's very fulfilling to see somebody execute such a very brilliant idea in this way. Loved it. There's another kid who's a descendant of somebody, and he is struggling. Won't say what happened with him, but he's struggling with letting them come for him.
I think it's Max.
Yeah,
Max. He works for Vanessa at the bar as well.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Everything is interwoven, even to that degree.
Yeah.
And he has his own backstory of his experience with the Abaddon Hotel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So basically they came and they were talking to her. And they were like, "Listen, Vanessa, this time you die for good." And I wrote that down.
Ooh.
They told her that this time you die for good.
They did say that, which solidifies that yes, you did die.
Yeah.
And we're gonna take you out of here for real.
Yeah. And ultimately, without giving the rest of everything away.
The rest of everything away.
Just in parts, we find out that the Carmichaels is a Hell House, but it's not the Hell House.
Correct. And the idea is that the house she's been dreaming of is the Hell House.
Yeah.
They say the Carmichael is a house. It is not the house.
And that despite the Abaddon being burnt down, you know, they were pulled to the Carmichael. Yeah, they have their belongings there, but because, you know, Tully's blood is buried somewhere. You know,
we don't know where. Maybe it might be at that house. We don't know.
Yeah, I think it's that house.
Yeah.
And, you know, we see also that, you know, Alicia went in with the pastor to try to do an exorcism. Y'all should really watch this film.
Yeah, they did do a split because Alicia and the pastor are trying to go do the exorcism on the house. Vanessa is not having it.
She never goes. And
Vanessa does not go. She's like, I'm not going to that. But Alicia did leave behind a box of like everything she's gathered.
She's like, in case I don't make it out.
In case I don't make it out. Her and Bobby were talking for weeks. They gathered a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was so many details. Like the numbers on the walls of the basement were on the back of some of these pictures. So those numbers are going to play a part in whatever happens.
And what I believe it is either a combination or a code to enter a door of something.
Yeah, maybe to get to that blood or something like that.
Or coordinates. I don't know.
Something.
But let me tell you. And then, you know, we find out that, like, they were trying to get Beverly down to the Abaddon.
They were. There was a note and it said, we want Beverly found and brought back to the hotel for fear she is pregnant. We're like, who is Beverly? Is Beverly Vanessa's mom? Because we do remember back of the back.
Yeah.
That that was the camel that broke the straw's back.
Yeah.
Camel that broke the straw's back.
Straw
that broke the camel's back.
Correct.
About all this stuff with Tully and he hanged himself and everything. Everything went down after that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Ooh-wee.
It's just so much. So I am very interested to see where this goes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's two big reveals at the end. Are we going to talk about them reveals? We're not going to talk about the reveals. I mean, I just want to tell you guys some more about the movie, though. This movie was really, really effective. I think it is even more effective if you have all the lore from the previous one. Because if you don't, it is given just standard, you know, Sunday afternoon horror. Comfort horror movie, but there's so much to this.
When you got the investment of knowing these people
and really knowing
watching Diane trying to get that story and go up in there, and we find out that your daddy was the drunkest person on the truck that killed that damn Carmichael girl, and now you were destined to die. They came out for revenge, babe.
That's the thing, and then
generational.
People don't even know how they're tied to this. And you know, Alicia and Bobby were working on something. This is the one to blow the hat off.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie is really good. I think it hits all the Hell House beats. It has those creepy scares. It's a great use of silences, and there's no way out, honey. These hell mouths. Yeah, and it gives. I think that's a thing that runs through these movies too. It's a sense of helplessness.
Yeah.
Like you really just cannot get out of this. You just can't. It's just the way it's sung.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's two big reveals at the end. We're not gonna talk about it, but I do have a tidbit.
Oh my god! And I just actually read something.
You read that tidbit?
No, but we're gonna talk about this off
camera.
But yeah. Do your tidbit, and this will be the last thing that we talk about.
Okay. Ooh, it's so scary in here. Is it just me? It's scary in here. Somebody turn on the light.
No.
But so the last tidbit I read, Stephen Cognetti said he is not returning to this. He said he does not have a plan for a sixth film. He said that he would. I mean, he doesn't want Hell House to stop, but he doesn't want to do anything else with it. And you know that's crazy because there's so much left after this one. But that's when I just Googled it. Just a quick Google.
Oh, that's why people are mad. Stephen Cognetti, fuck you.
Whoa!
I'm going to bully you, bitch, until you give me my sixth film.
Bro, he said that he's not against Hell House coming back, and he's not against a sixth film, but he will not hit that one up. Maybe he'll write on it. Maybe he'll produce it. Maybe he'll consult on it. But he's ready to pass it on to someone else's hands.
Stephen Cognetti.
Steven, I didn't mean to do this.
You remember when that horrible, ghastly, ghouly, disgusting Sonic the Hedgehog came out, and a bunch of people online bullied them bitches down there at the studios at Paramount, and they got them to push the film back by damn near a year and redo it and put out a successful, beautiful looking Sonic the Hedgehog. I was one of them motherfuckers, and I'm gonna be on your neck, Stephen Cognetti. I want my 6th film, and I want closure of what this is. Heifer.
I would like to say that the views of Relly on the Relly and Dilly podcast
ain't got nothing to do with Dilly.
Do not represent the views of Dilly.
Yeah, absolutely. I won't even come at you from the podcast channel.
I will say this, Steven.
But when you see Jirachi, that's me.
Steven, I will say this. I beseech you and I beg you to come back at least for one more.
Steven.
Just to close it out.
Steven.
Just because you know how this all ends.
Steven.
I beseech you.
Steven.
Please.
This is getting dangerous.
Please. It's getting real dangerous, Steven.
It's getting real
Mr.
dangerous.
Cognetti, this is getting real dangerous.
That's uncalled for.
But, that might be why people are doing the reviews. I didn't think
absolutely.
I didn't know. I didn't put that
give
two
you
and
a
two
little
together.
score for playing with my feelings and my heart. I sat here.
Yeah.
Girl. And on
that note,
thank you so much.
Thank you so
Ooh, you done pissed me off.
for tuning into this Wild Card Wednesday, halfway to Halloween, as sponsored by Shudder, but not really Shudder.
Not yet.
But we're hoping very soon.
Thank you for sticking around for this deluxe episode.
This is a deluxe.
Let me tell you,
she's robust,
full body, scary,
down.
spooky with a side of the ookie, baby.
Yeah.
But I do think it was really good. And for somebody, when I tell you, I hate found footage.
He does not like
I hate
found
the Blair
footage
Witch
at all.
I hate Cloverfield.
So we were in on this.
I hate it all.
We were stuck.
But I was in on this. Sat here and I watched we watched all 5 films in like 2 days, 2-3 days.
Yeah, 2-3 days we watched all 5 of them. Because after that 5th one, again, we had to jump back to the beginning and watch everything all over again. Because we needed the lore. And the lore was there. The lore was
worth it.
It was really worth it.
And it's really good.
Yeah.
We're probably going to talk about this a little bit more once we cut.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much. Tune in. We just dropped The Drama.
Yes.
On Monday, starring Zendaya and Robert Pattinson.
Correct.
Please watch that film too. And I want you guys to
comment yes or no.
Do you
feel the
think
fallout was
Emma?
warranted?
And this is even weeks later. So honestly, if you want to have a full discussion in the chat, cause we delayed that film by like 2 weeks just to make sure that people had a chance to watch it. We don't even spoil it in the film, but let's get into it because I ain't buying it, baby. And get ready for another Reddit reads coming this Friday.
Correct.
Relationship deliberations. And we're getting ready to wrap April.
We are about to wrap April. We're gonna do one more. I have an idea of what our next Wild Card Wednesday Shudder Presents situation can be.
Ooh.
I know. I have so many things to tell you once this is all over.
Oh shit. Alright, well
like, share, subscribe.
And do that please. Bye.
Bye.